Hey YouTube, it's Norm here. How's it going? I want to say, first of all, I appreciate everybody for subscribing to my videos. You're all very cool for that. Hey, whoever's flagging my video for saying the F word too many times, you know, hey, to each their own. I didn't threaten anybody, or I don't think I violated any terms of service. But hey, I just wanted to tell us a little story of where I met Albert Pujols. And it's a pretty good story, so let me go ahead and go with it. Back in 2002, you know, the early years, before YouTube, before the internet got going, before MySpace, before Facebook, before anybody knew how small Shane Dawson's penis was or how fat Shay Carl is, there was a thing called baseball games. I was just out of college, and I had moved back to St. Louis with my wife. Well, I moved back to St. Louis. Actually, I was living with my parents. And my wife now, I started dating her. So what I was doing is I was living with my parents, so we would always come up with things to do. You know, I was just out of college that summer. I didn't have anything else to do. We'd go to a movie every single night. But when we didn't go to a movie, we'd go to a baseball game. And we went to quite a few Cardinal baseball games at the old Busch Stadium. Now, Albert Pujols at the time was just a young slugger just starting up. He had won a Rookie of the Year, but you know, he wasn't as big a star as he is today. Nobody knew that he would go on to hit home runs and average and RBIs and runs scored for as long in his of a career and become one of the best players in baseball today, if not the best. Well, my wife and I went to the games. What we do is at the old Busch Stadium, we'd go and we'd stay after the games, and we'd get the autographs of all of the St. Louis Cardinal baseball players. So we'd wait in this gate. There's a gate where the Cardinals would drive out of in their automobiles. It'd be right at Busch Stadium. They would park their cars inside that gate, and then they would drive out, and occasionally what they would do is they would come out before they drive their cars out, and they would sign autographs for everybody standing in line. And there'd be, you know, depending on the day and how late the game went, there'd be on average, you know, maybe 50 people who would wait out there for autographs. Now, my wife and I, you know, being as we were at the time dating and we were living with our parents, we wanted to spend time together, so we would decide to stay and wait and do autograph signings. So one day we were waiting for autographs. There's not only that, there's a main gate where they come out with their cars, but there's also a side gate where sometimes they walk out of. And not many people stand by this side gate. So I decided, you know what, I'm going to go stand by the side gate. It's about 100, 200 feet north of the main gate. And I'm standing by it. There's no other autograph seeker standing by this gate. And my wife, my girlfriend at the time, Vera, she's standing there at the main gate waiting for people to come with their autographs. So lo and behold, out of the side gate comes Albert Pujols. And he comes out wheeling his child he comes out pushing his child in her baby carriage, also carrying another baby, and his wife standing next to him. And he's carrying a baby and pushing a baby, and his wife standing there. And I'm standing literally probably less than a foot away from this guy. He walks right out of the gate, right by me. And I look at him in the eye, and I look over 100 feet away, and I scream at the top of my lungs, "Vera, get your ass over here. It's Albert fucking Pujols." And then I look back, and I look at Albert Pujols, and I look him in the eyes. And Albert Pujols has this stare on his face, and he looks me in the eyes and goes, I can't even do it justice. Here's this, you know, huge, muscular, you know, superstar athlete. You know, he's looking me in the eyes, straight in the eyes, with this dead-on stare, giving me this thing, what are you doing? You ain't gonna be fucking with my children or my fucking wife tonight. Just this look. Nastiest stare, holding it, and he takes his child's in her arm, and he holds her tighter. And I look in his eyes when he does that, and I do like, a blank stare. Look away. Walk back 3 steps. Lo and behold, none of the other autograph seekers, after seeing that, decided to get Albert's autograph that night. Albert Pujols, that's my story of meeting the guy. He's famous, man. And you know what? Watch the All Star Game here July 17th on Fox. It's going to be freaking awesome. And there's going to be a lot of home runs the night before at the Home Run Derby. It's going to be really cool. I'm going to be going to some of the festivities. So I appreciate you guys for watching. Thanks again. Norm, remember to subscribe.